Pastor Maisel Duncan, and welcome to the show. It's a little quick show today. I just had a break on, give my thoughts on this breaking news. Marjorie Taylor Greene is wanting Speaker Johnson out. Evidently, she has made a motion to oust him. Let's hear what it says.
Republican Kansas kind enough to join us. Senator, what do you think of all this?
Well, Neil, certainly Congresswoman Greene has every right to be frustrated. I'm as frustrated as anybody is. But elections have consequences. The American people have given us the White House with the most liberal, biggest spending president we've ever seen. They've given the Democrats the majority in the Senate. And we have a thin majority in the House. And this is what spending looks like under that type of levers. So look, everyone's down at this irrational level. They're at an emotional level right now. I hope that they can rise up to a rational level and think about this with some common sense. And I would tell you, honest to goodness, Moses could not do a better job than Speaker Johnson is doing right now. Look, he's as a conservative person as there is up here. He hates this bill, but this is the least amount of spending he can get. We've got to get him some freedom. We've got to fix the system. The system is broken. That's why for the past 6 months, we've been working on a package of bills that would go back and go through the budget process, put some teeth with the deadlines, and get every one of these bills to the floor one at a time. Let America see us. Listen, let's rise up to at least the rational level.
Okay, that's one of his colleagues defending him. The Daily Wire has Marjorie Taylor Greene files a motion to oust Speaker Johnson as House Speaker. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's known as a firecracker in the conservative community, as you remember when she ran.
Listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-957-6062. 800-957-6062. 800-957-6062. That's 800-957-6062. Paid for by Term Direct.
This is the Patriot Pastor Maisel Duncan. I'm going to introduce to you one of our new sponsors, University Motors of Chattanooga. Kevin Bloom is a great patriot, and University Motors of Chattanooga. My wife's car was bought there, and now my car. I trust him enough that I do business with him. 423-713-5800.
We have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you use insulin or have had hypoglycemic events, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-803-3771. 800-803-3771. 800-803-3771. That's 800-803-3771.
Before the 2024 presidential election. And this is where Marjorie Taylor Greene, I know she has got reasons for this. Some think she's a little bit self-serving at this point in her career. But to go after Speaker Johnson 7 months before 2024, that this is interesting. But then again, maybe she's trying to send a warning shot that that's one thing the Freedom Caucus and they fought for when they got rid of McCarthy. They wanted to get rid of the crazy spending. But evidently, this is what's happening. And she put, no Republican in the House of Representatives can in good conscience vote for this bill. It's a complete departure from our principles, Green said. She specifically mentioned provisions of the bill that deal with abortion and border security. This bill will absolutely destroy our majority and will tell every single one of our voters that this majority is a failure. This is the bill that the White House cannot wait to sign into law, she said. So evidently, she's sensing or giving the word that or Speaker Johnson has possibly made a deal with the devil. And that's going to be the interesting thing. So we'll keep our eyes on this and keep you posted. The other thing I think is interesting, real quick, since the Republicans seem to have a little bit of imploding, Ronna McDaniel joins liberal NBC and MSNBC as contributor after being ousted from the Republican National Convention. So Ronna McDaniel showing her true colors, in my opinion. This is Mitt Romney, who, as you all know, Democrat in disguise. This is Ronna McDaniel coming out, and she is going to be going to the MSNBC, NBC, and I'm sure she's a little bitter. If you guys remember, the Swami Vec pretty much called her out, and from then on, she was already in bad standing with the majority of us conservatives. But he gave the avenue for the pile-on, and once it happened, she had to go. So it's going to be interesting right here at 2024 presidential election. You have Ronna McDaniel, former chair of the RNC, going to the most liberal news cycle, which it's not uncommon. Donna Brazile left the DNC, as you know, and when she was ousted, and she came to Fox News. So, of course, Fox News isn't as conservative as they like us to think. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's not uncommon for a person from the opposite party to join the opposite thinking network, per se, because it makes it look fair and balanced. So we'll give Ronna a little bit of room, just very little, but we'll see. But I'll bet you, Ronna McDaniel will become anti-Trumper, and she will become a person pushing for the Nikki Haley, Liz Cheney types. I could be wrong. But if that happens, that will explain why we lost so many close elections that we should have won. Because if you have someone at the top of the party calling shots, making deals, handling the money, and then you keep coming up short, you got to ask yourself, was Ronna McDaniel a anti-Trumper all along? Now, the reason I say that is Candace Owens just came out and said something I'm so glad she did. Candace Owens confirms she no longer will be working for the Trump-hating Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro hates Trump, okay? He's a conservative juggernaut on many issues, but when it comes to Donald Trump, he has always hated Trump. He campaigned and talked bad about Trump when he first ran for office. In 2020, he reluctantly endorsed him, but any chances he gets on his Daily Wire conservative, he slams Trump. So and the other was Glenn Beck. Don't forget, Glenn Beck hated Trump, but then after Trump won in 2016, Glenn Beck put on the MAGA red hat and asked for forgiveness and said, hey, it's obvious this is the people's choice, and he got on the Trump train. And to my knowledge, he hasn't gotten off. So it's interesting. So you have people that have their opinions, and that's what makes America great. I don't know what your opinion is on certain people, but I think it's interesting as you're getting closer to 2024 election. You've got a couple of things to keep in mind. One, the EV market is crashing. So it's been a dismal failure forcing folks into electric cars. So that therefore makes green energy weak at the talking point. So the Biden administration will not be able to push that. That's going to be one of those things they hope Trump doesn't bring up in a debate. The other thing I think is the border. Very obvious blemish that's currently destroying our economy and trust and etc. So you've got that going, and of course you've got a bad economy, and with the green energy and EVs plummeting, gas prices continue to go up and down. America is wondering if we have 4 more years of Biden, can we afford to just survive as an individual family unit? I think we're all saying we're concerned for that. Okay. So as you're putting that in, on top of that, you're now having them trying to impeach Biden and also now get rid of the Speaker of the House. That is amazing. Has it ever been that you're seeing DC trying to get rid of a sitting president, the GOP party, and at the same time a fraction of them trying to get rid of the Speaker of the House? This is drama, my friends. The days of our lives. I mean, all the old drama come to mind. So as you're digesting this over the weekend, I'll try to keep you up to date with what I know when I get it. But I think it's very interesting that conservative Marjorie Taylor Greene at this time feels a need to step to the mic and do this. I've got her little thing I'll play here in this segment before we go. Like I said, this is going to be a quick segment. But here is Marjorie Taylor Greene explaining herself. See what you think.
Today I filed a motion to vacate after Speaker Johnson has betrayed our conference and broken our rules.
And more breaking news from Capitol Hill. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, as you just heard there, of Georgia, announced on the House steps that she filed a motion to vacate Speaker Mike Johnson.
Johnson, of course, a congressman from North Louisiana. Greene described her motion as more of a warning and a pink slip, as she said she wouldn't immediately force a floor vote that would throw the U.S. House into chaos. Now, Greene accuses Johnson of betraying the Republican conference and breaking its rules by passing 3 continuing resolutions.
She also accuses Johnson of, quote, forcing members to vote on a 2-part spending bill, which could keep the government from shutting down tonight without allowing 72 hours to read the text.
I filed the motion to vacate today, but it's more of a warning and a pink slip. I respect our conference. I paid all my dues to my conference. I'm a member in good standing, and I do not wish to inflict pain on our conference and to throw the House in chaos. But this is basically a warning, and it's time for us to go through the process, take our time, and find a new Speaker of the House that will stand with Republicans and our Republican majority instead of standing with the Democrats.
So she said we need a Republican that will stand with Republicans. Now, the interesting thing, you've got to remember when they have those meetings, Schumer is the leader of the Senate, and he is the leader of the House, okay? So when he has those meetings, those budget meetings, he's outnumbered because you've got Biden, Harris, and Schumer and these private meetings. And at several times he stood the ground, but evidently this is what he said as I conclude. This is Speaker Johnson. We have to govern, Johnson said to the Wall Street Journal. We have to demonstrate that we can keep this thing together and keep the train on the tracks. The spending bill has riled conservatives in Congress and elicited threats against Johnson's speakership from the House conservatives. Say this bill, if passed, will likely determine who controls the House of Representatives. And that's from Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles, and said this bill will most certainly determine who the next speaker is. Well, I am Maisel Duncan. This is the Maisel Duncan studio I am in, and we are now on Rumble X, which is former Twitter. We're on locals.com, and we're on YouTube, Facebook, and I can't remember all the others. Anyway, thank you, Street Level America, for this opportunity to take me to 32 states, Mexico, and Canada. And we're taking the Maisel Duncan show as far as it'll go. God bless, Godspeed, my friends. And I hope and pray each of you are having preparations for a great Easter. We are here as well. I'll be back.